That's why back in the 1920s and whatnot, black people got this idea, and it was justifiable. Black people took the position that if we act intelligent, and learn how to cross our T's and dot our I's, maybe they will see that we are people, and not some kind of animals, some kind of freaks, okay? But they always knew, okay? They said, they knew that we were primitive, see, which is something we like to deny, and that hurts, really. But see, it ain't got nothing to do with feelings, it got something to do with the business of dealing with racism. Being primitive is not a crime, all right? That's how we have been taught. By being primitive, it just means somebody knows something that you don't know.
Or
that's
not
all.
Understanding white supremacy in the system of white supremacy.
Yeah, or just doing things in a rudimentary fashion.
That's primitive.
Right.
Yeah, or just doing things in a rudimentary, or just doing things in a basic manner. All right, unsophisticated, which is basically the way we were for the most part. Maybe not all of us. They say that we had some big scholars in Egypt, Timbuktu, and whatnot. May be true.
But they didn't understand white supremacy.
No, but I'm still saying that's not it. I'm talking about the people that they dragged on those ships, and some of them were calling themselves kings and queens. But they were being dragged on those ships. I mean, that goes to show about how far that king and queen thing went. We got to admit to that. I mean, all of the tribal leaders, that's why I never went into that elder thing. I never liked it. See, that started cropping up. Okay, I'd walk into a room, even, I've been to talk, so everybody say, okay, everybody be quiet. The elders now, cut it out. Stop it. Stop it. Y'all shamming, I'm not going to feed this stuff. Because, see, feeble people always look grasping for a straw. They give them some artificial incentive, if they're incorrect, rather than just say, I am feeble. I have been kicked from pillar to post, and I have been super outsmarted by people who have a brain that runs circles around me. Tell it like it is. And you know what? When you do that, that's when they back up, because they say, now that's a nigger that's waking up. Really? See, I've experienced that. You bear watching now. But as long as you run around talking about my grandfather built the empire and my grandfather did this, and they say, yeah, you're damn right, nigga. I mean, your grandfather was hell. Right? As long as you do what I say do, you just keep believing that. Long as you do what I say do. And we know that. But we spent about 2 decades feeding that kind of nonsense. I got sick of it right off the bat. I got that in my book and whatnot. Don't brag about being black. You have nothing to do with it no way. Brag about something you did. Ever. Don't ever do that. Ever. It sounds silly to a white supremacist, see, because they are real. They don't play. See, but we play. And we like to get among ourselves and just keep playing. Because it's easy to get in that little sandbox like kids. This is our little village. Let's beat on some tom-toms and get some skirts and whatnot. I mean, and let's go through our little rituals and let's pretend. And then in the ghetto, we get gangs that do the same thing. I'm bad. I can whip anybody. Yeah, you can whip anybody, who ain't nobody to whip. All right? That's what we've been doing. And then the intellectual people, same thing. And this is real important. Because once you break out of that box and say, hey, we just been beaten. We're primitive. We're silly. We're stupid. That's what we are. You tell the white people that. I don't know not 1/10 of the stuff I'm supposed to know. I am not intelligent. But I'm trying to get intelligent. Now you're dangerous. It's only when you take that position that now you are dangerous, and that's when they start watching you. Up until then, you just walk around beating yourself on the chest. They say, oh yeah, oh yeah, you're Superman. Your people are the greatest thing that ever was. No doubt about it, boy. They'll feed you. They'll feed that. And we love it because we're so starved. for some type of attention and affection. And when we get it from a few white folks that nod, they'll tell, they bring Frederick Douglass in, teach him how to read and write. And then they'll say, oh yeah. Problem is, it's just pitiful that the rest of them are not like you, Frederick. And that'd make Frederick feel good. He'd get him a white woman and whatnot, and, Now, he's trying to help. He's still trying to help and all like that. But, you don't buy none of that. What you do is strip yourself. Realistically. Now, that's not saying there's not a lot of stupid white people, okay? But they ain't so stupid they don't know they're white. They don't know the significance of being white. That's all they need to know in the system of white supremacy. That takes care of, that doesn't do anything for black people. See, a white person down on the low rung of the ladder might feel, out of it and all like that, but that doesn't help black people. An ignorant white person is not helping black people. Doesn't help you just walk past and say, that's an ignorant white person. It doesn't help you. You just made a remark. You feel good about yourself because you found, a white person on a park bench. And you say, well, I'm not as bad off as he is. But that didn't help you any. That's an illusion. You think that helped you some. All right? That ain't a comparison you go by. You go by this whole weight of injustice. Of this thing that we call the white race, which is the only race. And so, I'm just saying, to me, that's real important. That's why I said monsters and monstrosities. That's the only type of black people that the system puts out at its very best. I'm a monstrosity. If I run up down the street and start shooting people and whatnot, killing black people and whatnot, burning down their houses and all like that, now I've become a monster. But if I stop doing that and put on a suit and tie and all like that, now I've become a monstrosity. It doesn't get no better than that. See? As long as I'm subject to white supremacy, I'm never what I should be. Never. You don't ever reach that level. And you let white people know that you know that. See, that's where you're dangerous. You let white people know that, hey, I don't care, how much money I have, or where I live and all like that, how articulate I might be. I am not anything close to what I should be. Nowhere. And I don't know no black people who are. Nowhere on the planet. And if you tell the truth, sir, neither do you. Because every last one of them is subject to